I seen an opportunity in the Leadership Institute to where we get the group of people and try to establish something core within our organization to something with a beginning and a start, and something that keeps on going. So just something set for the students to be able to come in, and then they take this course, and they start with the course. It has a set curriculum, and then at the end they get a certificate, or maybe if it be a certification or something, then we have something that continues, instead of just we're going to do this or we're going to do this, and it wasn't so much that mismanagement. It was just, I guess, the circumstances to where we just had to do what we could. But I want to establish something that continues and has a beginning and an outcome. So that's where I came with this idea.
Well, let me just say that Eddie's quite humble, because I met Eddie through the Leadership Institute, and our very first session, Amber Twitchell, who's homesick today, and I have worked on several state projects together before she came to Sonoma County, and we were excited because we were going to be in the same class together, and so we got into a conversation really deep about social equity and social justice and all these different things in Sonoma County that we're going to be moving and shaking. And Eddie comes over and he introduces himself and he says, "Let me tell you about the North Bay Institute for Green Technology." And so we're listening to Eddie, and he's telling us his story, and here's Amber and I just kind of listening to him, and Amber says, "Well, yeah, I've done some work with them." And I said, "Well, kind of sounds like Youth Build, a program that I've worked with." And then we met Jose, who's a Youth Build graduate, and Eddie just said, we're going to have a project in this institute, and you should really look at this organization. And he did just not let go. And every time he came to us, and he said, and every time we had an idea, he says, that would work really well at the institute. And so, a month later, when we were supposed to decide on our projects, there was Eddie again. And by then, I had met Josue, also on your board. And I just want to say you have some fabulous board members that have advocated for the success of your students, for the community, and just amazing. So that's really what kind of brought us all together, as we said, yeah, this is where we want to invest our energies and our talents and our experiences. So passing around this form here, just kind of like turned out to be a one-page front and back, just an outline of kind of where we are right now in our thinking. And please note that it is a draft, and it's going to be an evolving document, because we really want to integrate what your ideas are. We want to look at what your past accomplishments have been.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So ours is 2 pages.
Oh, is it? Here, let me give you this.
Okay.
That's mine. There you go.
Okay.
All right. So we want to integrate what your past accomplishments have been, but also what is your vision, and what are the vision of your students as well, because we really do believe in collaboration. And if you look at the list of project leaders, you have a fabulous team of leaders here. And as you notice, we don't have one project leader, you have a whole plethora. And really, because each person that's on our team provides a certain level of expertise that's going to help build that comprehensive package that we hope to deliver to you throughout the next 6 months. Okay? So we're hoping that this will be more of a dialogue and less of a presentation. The main thing that I want to kind of hone you in on is the mission and our goals. I've been in nonprofit work for about 16 years, and if you don't know your mission, you don't know why you're getting up in the morning and doing what you're doing every day. So for me, it's really a key what the mission is of this project, as well as how it integrates in the mission of your organization. So really what we're looking to do is help build the capacity of your organization, and we can do that in different ways, and we have some ideas put together in the goals. Our vision long-term is to create a viable, successful training opportunity, as well as that pathway to employment for the transitional age youth that you work with. And we also realize that there is a lack of programs for youth in that 16 to 24 age range. It's flexible in terms of the students that you work with, but we really wanted to hone in on the at-risk group, or the service gap group, so that's where we can focus our energies on. Okay. The goals that we were able to divide them kind of into 3 sections. So you'll see the training curriculum section, the leadership development, as well as the workforce development. And I'm going to kind of branch off a little bit and let Aaron talk about the training curriculum. That's right, Aaron, she's on the spot here. And then I will talk a little bit about leadership, and then I'll let Jose talk a little bit about workforce. Okay?
I went through the Eco Workforce with Kirsten Evelina, who then got me into the Leadership Academy, and I'm going to be focusing on workforce development because I had a hard time, trying to get a job, because when you get a job, they want you to have experience. When you don't have experience, you can't get a job, but you're just as qualified as everyone else. It's like you can learn it, but they just don't want to give you a chance. So basically, I'm focusing on workforce development. Basically, getting youth like myself and younger, getting in contact with jobs. It's like they have no experience. So what I want to do is give them experience. Give them a chance, because I never had a chance at getting a job. I really didn't have a job until I got in touch with Kirsten Evelina, and they ended up getting me a job and some skills I was able to use when I went into painting. So basically, I want to try to get youth employable with green jobs, because for me it was real hard just to fill out an application, just trying to get a job. It was ridiculous, It's like I can work just as hard as them, but I don't have any experience, so they don't want to give me a job. And I found out that workforce development fits very good in my category. Being an at-risk youth, I went to jail a few times. And when you have a record, people look at that and they shun you. They don't even want to look at your application. And so I find that when you go down the wrong path, it takes a long time to fix it. And when you can't fix it, your life is ruined. And like me, I kind of gave up. So I went through Youth Build, and they built my courage up, got me through the program. I graduated, and that kind of boosted my ego. So basically, programs like that, like Youth Build, I went through SAY2 for the Summer Jobs program. That was a good program, got me out of bed every day, working and stuff, like jobs like that. Just people that are willing to give me a chance is what makes me want to succeed, not boost my ego. But when people just don't want to give you a chance, your ego kind of deflates, and then you just kind of say, it's not worth it, and float away. And that's what I don't want to happen. So that's why I'm focusing really hard on workforce development, because I think with my experience I can do good in that sector.
So those are just
the main folks. Coming to the board meetings. We didn't have any money, or I said it earlier, we didn't have any money or anything to really do anything. So I looked at it as if we don't put something together real quick, then our organization is going to fail. And that's where I was at, and so it was either do something or we were going to fail. And so that's where I'm glad we have our team here to try to fix this.
And you'll see we're working with two top-notch advisors. We're working with Miguel Ruelas from the Community Foundation of Sonoma County. He's our project advisor, as well as Helga Lemke. She's a board member for the Institute, and she was also the executive director of Community Action for 27 years, and then went to work for the state Community Services Department. So very skilled, talented people have their eye on organization and are helping to guide this. And what we're going to ask from all of you is that you also look at the next 6 months and commit to one of these service areas, either training curriculum, leadership development, workforce development, or just the overall capacity of the organization, and work with the project teams as the local advisor, so that when we have questions about which direction the board's going, or looking at some of the more specific detailed pieces of the organization, that we're speaking through your voice. We're not creating a whole other dialogue. So we're going to ask of you to also commit to one of these areas and essentially be that contact person with the project group.